Happy Juneteenth, everybody. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to your Juneteenth edition of The Day Shift. I'm Dr. Paulette Clark, and I am here by all accounts to talk about all things Juneteenth. But not just all things Juneteenth, but everything that's happening in the Brownstone. And one of the biggest things that's currently happening in the Brownstone today is we are excited to announce to you all one of our specials that we have coming up. But first, before we begin, I want to let you guys know who we are and what you're currently watching, what you're listening to, what you may be reading a little bit later or watching. If you are catching the replay, let me know that you're catching the replay by putting replay in the comments as well. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right. So one of the first things that I like to do is I want to make sure that you guys know exactly who we are. Okay. So who are we? We are Brownstone Worldwide. We house, because we're a media company, we house all things Brownstone. We're a media company. So let's talk about that. All right. So one of the first things that I like to tell people is that we literally have all kinds of things that we talk about when it comes to news, information, publishing. We have brownstoneworldwide.com, and we also have in our wheelhouse, we also have, are you ready? KCCR The Brownstone, right? So we have a Brownstone podcasting app that you can listen to. And if you're over here and you're on all of the platforms, you'll actually see the icon that is currently available. So you can go ahead and you can add that to your arsenal of things that you want to pay attention to when you are watching and listening and paying attention to brownstoneworldwide.com. So once again, we are publishing, we are media, we are education, and we are podcasting. So let's get into a couple of the things here for today, for this Juneteenth day, what we do so that you are aware. We're media. News, information, content, lifestyle. We got you covered with brownstoneworldwide.com. Hello there, Fearless. How are you? I'm going to go ahead and wave at you. Hey, Garrick McFadden. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and get this party started because, of course, I was on TikTok today and I believe I got a video that's getting ready to go viral because we talked about Juneteenth. Okay? So listen, we have media, publishing, all the cool things. Then, of course, we have KCCR The Brownstone. That's our podcasting app, okay? So the podcasting app, which you can actually download, is literally available on iOS, Android devices, and officially it is available on Alexa. You can say, play the Brownstone, and it will actually play the Brownstone and not the group, okay? All right, so thank you guys for those of you all who are joining me on Instagram. You're joining me on TikTok. You are joining me on Facebook and on LinkedIn. We appreciate you. Oh, and let's not forget YouTube as well. Hey, Leanne, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So listen, not only do we have the Brownstone podcasting app, but we also have Brownstone Living Magazine, okay? And so what I want you guys to know is that the issue for the month of June is actually being released tonight. Okay, one of the biggest reasons why it's a little late this month is because, let me tell you why, is because we wanted to make sure that you guys got a little bit extra information about one of our big events that's coming up this summer, and it is called the Block Party. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on another broadcast. But that's not why I'm here today. Let me show you the cover of the magazine so that you are aware. All right. So you guys go ahead and make sure that you're getting your copy. If you want more information about how you can get your copy, make sure that you head over to our Facebook group and you like the page and you go ahead and head over to brownstoneworldwide.com and sign up for our newsletter, and we'll be providing the links there. But then you can always get the links on pretty much every platform that we're on. But let's talk about why I'm here today, because you heard me talk about all of the things that we are. So all of the things that we are huge, but it's all about media. It's all about getting your voice heard. It's all about telling your story your way. Let's talk about that. Brownstone Worldwide is all about that. Back when I was growing up, we were a neighborhood. We were a group of people that took care of each other. We were in the hood. Let's just keep it 100, right? And so one of the things that is important for us to remember is when we were growing up, especially where I'm from, we told the story. Hence the reason why you saw the video earlier today about me talking about Juneteenth 1865. And so we thought today would be a really, really good day to release one of our most coveted programs, right? So let's talk about that. Being a part of the neighborhood means that we are responsible for each other. And so because of that, Brownstone Worldwide is predicated on the fact that we are responsible for the stories that we tell our way. If we are not careful, someone will tell them for us and consider us to be right wing, left wing, fascist, all of these things. You are here to tell the story the correct way, the right way, your way. What does that mean? That means that you have an opportunity, dear hearts, all of you, to share your stories. How do you do that? Well, one of the biggest ways that you can do that is through a podcast. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Well, we have two courses. One we started was called Brownstone Podcast University. It is literally 10 weeks. And let me tell you what some of you guys did. You said, that's too long. I ain't got that kind of time. Let me tell you something else that you said too. You said, I won't commit. I'll pay for it, but I'm not going to commit and I'm not going to produce. And you know what? I don't want you to be a part of that group. I want you to be a part of the group that actually produces. So even though, hello, Christopher, how are you? So even though you are literally saying 10 weeks is too long, you won't commit. You can't commit to that long of a program, but you will commit to something a little shorter. So what we did was we took all of the pieces of the program and we decided that the best thing to do was to create a 1-day intensive so you could get all of the things. Okay. What are all of the things with this program? Because we're actually calling it the Brownstone Podcast Basics Intensive. Looks kind of like this, right? It's the basic intensive. It is literally a 1-day course. You can't beat that with a stick, folks. You literally cannot. Okay. So one of the things that I want you guys to understand is we heard you, number one, and we took all of the basic elements and we said, okay, since you don't want to commit to 10 weeks, 12 weeks, you don't want that internship where you become a part of Brownstone Worldwide and become an air personality for 2 whole weeks, and you don't want to get your hands in there and do the fun stuff, right? You want to get started, you ready to go. You can always circle back and do Brownstone Podcast University, or like Leanne says, BPU, but you want to get started right now. And I get that. Right. So Leanne literally is saying here, sometimes you just need to get in and get started. And that's the point. So it's literally, according to Leanne here, this seems great for those who just need the basics so they can get started. That's what this is about. We want you guys to go ahead, get in. Hey, Healthy and Wealthy. Yeah. Healthy and Wealthy Looks. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks so much for joining on Instagram as well. Listen, we want you to get in and get started because we heard you. I love the program, Paulette. I think it's great. It's not that I know I'm not going to commit. So we got you. So here's what comes with that 4-hour intensive, because we're going to get in and we're going to get you out. And that's super important when we're talking about getting the results that you desire. Because isn't that the reason why you literally do programs and you purchase things? Because you want to make sure that you're getting the following from any program. You want to get the skill set that you need and you want to get it and use it right away. Not only do you want to get the skill set that you need, you want to apply it almost immediately. Okay. So let's talk about how that's going to work with this 4-hour course. Because like I said, you said you want an intensive, you want to get in. This is what I want you to understand. We are going to give you a 4-hour live intensive and work session. Listen, we're going to go through 1 and then we're going to put it to work. We're going to go through 2. We're going to put it to work. We're going to go to 3 and we're going to put it to work. What are we putting into work? The 4 P's. Those 4 P's are planning, production, posting, and promotion. Those are the 4 things that you are going to be learning in this particular course. We're not trying to make it complicated at all. We want to make sure that you're able to get in and get out, right? And when you get out, we want to make sure that you have something tangible in your hands that you can use right away. Okay. So you're going to get that 4-hour live intensive and a work session. Like I said, not only that, you're going to get 2 different workbooks. You're going to get the Podcast Basics 101 digital workbook from Brownstone Worldwide. This is basically a digital resource with notes and exercises and even some free templates that I put in there for you so that you can get the checklists done for your structured learning. That's number 1. Number 2, you're going to get the Podcast Basics 101 ebook. Now, that's a guide that's actually covering, listen very closely, content creation, because you're going to need that. Editing, how do you record? What do you record with? Promotion and audience engagement strategies that you can actually use, right? And then after that, we're even going to do this. Hi, Jennifer Hill, how are you? After that, you're going to get, you ready? Because when you're done with the 4-hour intensive and the doors close and the lights go down, you are literally going to be sitting here with all of this information that you started using right away. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to go, now what? I got to this step. What's next? So we're not going to leave you hanging, sweetie. What we're going to do is we're going to give you 90-day access to the intensive replay. How cool is that? Let's talk about that really quick. 90 days that you get to goof around in there, do what you need to do, and get that podcast going, right? That's really, really important. So what else are you going to learn? You're going to learn some things like this. Podcasting strategy. Why is that important? Because it's a lot of people that literally say, girl, let's start a podcast. Let's go ahead and get started right away. Yes, girl, you ready? Ooh, child, they got a sale on Amazon. Let's go buy a microphone. And then you get started and you don't even know what you did. You get started and you go to so many different platforms and you piece together all the freebies and you still haven't figured out exactly how you're going to do what you're going to do. But you still go live anyway. You record anyway, and you put it out. And you might even do really well and get 3, 4, maybe even 5 or 6 different shows done. But a couple of questions that you have to ask yourself. What was the purpose of my podcast? Do I even know? That's number 1. The second thing is once you go live a couple of times, what's the strategy behind how many times that you have gone live? Do you even have a clue? And when I say go live, that means loading the podcast, getting it ready. What did you do in between to promote it? Are you just going live just to go live because you think you have something to say? Have you identified your audience? Did you do that? You didn't? Okay, then this 4-hour intensive is for you. Okay? Because what I'm seeing over and over and over in these internet streets is I'm seeing people that literally do not have a plan of action in place and they're just going live. You know what happens when you do that? You don't keep it up. You don't keep it up at all. Because after about 4 or 5 times, you're done. This don't work. Of course it's not going to work. You have no clue what you did or what you're doing or what your plan of action is. You need a strategy. That's where this podcast intensive comes in. And it's really important if you're serious about doing what you're doing, this is where that comes in. You want to make sure that you understand what platforms your stuff needs to go on. Don't just throw it up anywhere. Identify and make sure that you are clear. Do you want to be out here with everybody else where there are millions of other podcasts out there? And even if you decide to do that, how are you going to get eyeballs and ears on yours? Do you know how to identify who your audience is? Do you? What about your marketing and promotion? What about this? I'm even going to throw this in here. What about monetization? Because it's a thing. Yep, it's a thing. How do you do that? I'm even going to tell you right now that even with the 4 hours that you're going to get, listen very closely to me on this one. This is well over $1,300 worth of value for you. But because we want to make sure that you get what you need, because I was talking about freedom earlier today and 1865 and Juneteenth and all of that. We want to make sure that we are opening up the doors for a lot of you guys to literally get, hey, Sheila, hey, from the Maldives. I want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need from this particular course. So we've dropped the course price so low, we couldn't go any lower. My folks was like, don't drop it one more time. Don't do it. The course is only $99, folks. That's less than $100. You'll be able to get your podcast started. And here's what I know. What I know is that there are a lot of you out here that want to start a podcast. There are a lot of you out here who started a podcast and you pay every month for a platform that you're not even using, if you're using one that you're paying for. One day I'm going to get to it. One day I'm going to get to it. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. And you never do. And you know you have something to say. Well, who is this for when you say that, Paulette? Right? So let's talk about who this is for. Let's get right into it. I'm not trying to waste your time. It's for people who are in a specific profession. If you're busy, you got a career, you're in HR, you're a mommy, you got something to say, you're a lifestyle enthusiast, all of these things, and you're looking to explore podcasting as an option to be a creative outlet for yourself, number one, because it absolutely can be, right? It needs to benefit you as well, but it's also a means of sharing your expertise with the world, okay? That's a great way for you to do that. If you are looking to add to the content that you're already creating and sharing it with the world, your expertise, your passion for a specific topic, and if you want to venture into podcasting as a way to express yourself and gain a new audience, this is the way to do it. Small business owners are others and other businesses. This is a way for you to connect with, listen closely, to your employees. This is a way for you to create more engagement, because here's the thing. In today's society, so many of us are missing such pertinent pieces with our employees. This is a way to do that because we get so super busy. Create a podcast for your people, an internal one. How about that? But you gotta be strategic. Especially when you're in business and you got things that are coming down the pipe. You got to know what you're doing. Students and educators, this is a great one. If you're involved in the educational sector, students and teachers who want to leverage podcasting to enhance learning experiences and so forth, you want to engage your students. This is a great way to share educational content and keep it engaging. And what about just regular old folks who are lifestyle enthusiasts? You want to get into it? This is for you. You got a hectic lifestyle. You want to have somebody that's listening to it while they're driving, while they're working out, and you're giving topics related to health, wellness, personal development, all of those, travel, fitness, or other ways and areas that you may be passionate about. This is a great way to do it. Great way to do it. Okay? Here's what I know. What I know is that we all have a story to tell. Everybody got a song to sing. Every last one of us. And what may fit for you may not be what somebody else wants to hear. But there is an audience for each one of us because we are all connected in some way or another. And that is where this podcast intensive comes from. It comes from a place of, I heard you say 10 weeks with Brownstone Podcast University. I won't commit to it, but I am going to commit to the podcast intensive 4 hours. I'm giving you 4 hours of my time. Now, let me tell you who I am, so we are clear. Okay. First of all, who am I? And why are you able to sit here and listen to me tell you all of the things about podcasting? Baby, I've been in this game over 30 years. Okay. So let's talk about that. I'm Paulette Clark. Well, excuse me. Let me say it again. I am Dr. Paulette Clark. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses, listen very closely, brownstoneworldwide.com, KCCR, the Brownstone Podcast Network, which houses 3 different applications for you to be a part of if you so choose to join our Air Personality neighborhood. And lastly, Brownstone Living Magazine. Not only that, but I've got some big chops behind me too. Let's talk about 20 years in radio. We started doing talk shows before they started calling them what? Podcasts. I can teach you about clock wheels. They got different names now, right? What about prep? You ever heard of that? You want to learn how to do this right? If it were me, I would try my best to find somebody that's been in this industry long enough to know that can tell you. Don't think that I got these grades just from being a mom. I got these grades working in an industry that was male dominated, but some of my best teachers were men. Some of my best teachers were white men and brothers who were deep in the trenches. And they didn't mind teaching a young sister like me all of the things that I needed to know about radio. Now we're calling it podcasting, and it comes with, hey, Tremaine, how are you? Now we're calling it podcasting. That's what we call it now. And that's okay. You can call it podcasting. You can call it whatever you want. But you need to know the difference between this and video. You need to understand all of the things that need to happen in order for you to have a great podcast. You're going to learn from somebody that's got over 30 years in the entertainment and media industry. What else are you going to get? You're going to get somebody that has engagement experience, community and public relations experience. Y'all, by all accounts, I literally went to college for marketing and advertising. Let's talk about that. So you're not talking to somebody that doesn't know the game. You following what I'm saying? Now, if you're interested in finding out more about this particular course, let me go ahead and share it with you once again. I'm going to go ahead and put it. Okay, so let's see what she's let the room for the course, y'all. Get in the room for the course, y'all. She is giving you the benefit of her 20 plus years of experience. Thanks so much for that, Leanne. I appreciate that. Yeah. So you're not talking to anybody that doesn't know what she's doing. And I just decided to start doing this because I've been doing podcasting for 4 months or 5 months. Listen very closely when I tell you this, and I stand on this. It's okay for people to take their experience, however long it is, and to share it with people. That's okay. That's fine. But what I want you to understand is that you're only going to get as much as they have within their perspective of what they've learned on their own, right? You get somebody like me, I'm going to teach you some stuff you're not going to get from anybody else. Yeah, okay, some people out there doing 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, podcasting, 20 plus years. Let me tell you who this is going to be good for once again, just so that you are aware, just so that you know. This is perfect if you are a business owner, okay? If you're a business owner and you're trying to build a community of people who are going to consistently purchase from you, this is a way for you to get that. Okay? This is a way for you to get that. How? By turning on your microphone and telling your side of the story your way. Just like with Brownstone Worldwide, it's the same thing. If it's for your corporation, if you're working for a huge corporation, if you're in HR, you're a part of their engagement in their DEI organization, this is perfect for you to learn how to do. And I know you guys are out there because you've told me. This is perfect for you to build camaraderie, closeness. This is a way for you to build a community within the organization where your employees are already disgruntled. This can absolutely help them. Absolutely help them. It'll help them to feel connected. It will help them to feel as if you really care about them. And it's a way for you to give the state of what is happening in your organization. This is perfect for teachers. This is perfect for students. If you're a lifestyle enthusiast, this is perfect for you. You become the authority of your podcast. But it doesn't just stop there. You need to also be able to promote it. What does your artwork look like? Are you promoting it or are you just loading it because somebody said load it? And then you get upset because it doesn't do what you said it was supposed to do or what they told you it was going to do because you didn't know what the next steps were. Not that you didn't do it. You didn't know to do it. That's what we're covering in this 4-hour intensive. Now, remember, it's only 4 hours. So when I tell you we're going to go through those 4 Ps, and does anybody remember what they were? Anybody? Let's go through those 4 Ps again. Hey, Dr. Michelle, how are you? Hey, Crystal, how are you? I want to give it to you straight, no chaser once again, because we're going to go through those 4 Ps once again. And then I'm going to provide the link, and we're going to provide the link in the bio on LinkedIn. We are on Instagram right now. We are going to be covering the 4 Ps of podcasting in this 4-hour intensive. It is planning. Y'all ready for that? Can somebody type in here planning? We're going to cover that. The second one is production. The third one is platforms. And lastly, promotion. Those are the 4 things that we are going to cover. And when I tell you we going in, I expect a couple of things from you guys. We're going to be talking about how to set it up while you're in the class. You want to go? You said that all you needed was a 4-hour intensive. I got you covered. But in order for that to happen, you got to register for the class. You have to register for the class. It's the only way. Now, again, I'm only taking 25 people so that I can spend more time with you guys one-on-one. Here's what you get. You get that 4-hour live intensive and the work session. We're going to work on planning. Then we're going to work. Then we're going to work on production. And then we're going to put it to work. Guess what else we're going to do? We're going to work on, what was the other one that I said that it was? Does anybody remember? Platforms. Rim, what's your question, sir? I see you over here. And if it's foolishness, I won't answer it. I'm telling you now. And then lastly, we're going to cover promotion. That's it. And we're going to put it to work. The reason why we're going to put it to work is I'm going to give you some free templates. You need to sign up, Ms. Tremaine. You absolutely do. Get excited about this. How do you sign up? If you are on Instagram, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, all you have to do is check the link in the bio. That's the first thing. You can go ahead and it'll say Podcast Basics Intensive. You can go ahead and register there. Then the next thing that you need to do is you need to get ready because you're going to schedule your time and we're going to get started. Remember, it's only 25 people that I'm taking at this time. You'll notice that there are 4 dates for you to choose from. Each class will only have 25 people in it because you're going to want that hand holding. You're going to want somebody to get there and sit with you until you get all of those things done. And remember, when you are done, here's what's going to happen. You're going to also get, you ready? This is when it gets really cool. You're going to get a digital workbook because that digital workbook, I'm praying that you print it out or at least you have something that you can type in, right? And when you're done, you'll be able to use that workbook to reference back to. Now, remember, 4 Ps. Here's the thing. You'll also get the Podcast Basic 101 ebook. Now, that's going to be your guide to covering content creation, recording, promotion, all of the 4 Ps. And then lastly, I'm even going to throw in this because remember, it's only 4 hours. But what do you do if you can't keep up during the 4 hours? Because when I tell you we're going to move. Okay? I'm going to give you 90-day access to the intensive replay. How about that? So if you miss some steps and you think, oh my gosh, I didn't get everything finished in my 15 minutes or my 30 minutes, we're going to give you 90 days to go back and review. 90 days. But remember, you said, I want to get started today. Okay? You get an extra 90 days. Now, let me give you the link. Listen, Leanne said planning, production, platforms, promotion, because you're going to miss something, correct? Those are the 4 Ps that we're going to cover. The 4 Ps. How do you get this? The link is in my bio. Again, if you're on Instagram, if you are on Facebook, if you are on Facebook, Brownstone Worldwide, my personal page, if you're on LinkedIn, I already got you. The link is already in my bio. I got you. Okay? If you're on TikTok, guess what? That link is also in my bio. But I'm going to share it here for those of you all who are watching me on all of the other things. Are you ready? This is super, super easy. bit.ly/podcast basics intensive. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Let me say it again. bit.ly/podcast intensive. You want to learn how to do this? You want to learn how to do this right and get those 4 Ps down pat? Not only that, listen. This is important if you are the kind of person that has to have somebody walk you through the process. This is for you if you decide that you need additional support, then you can consider Brownstone Podcast University. But if you just want to get started, okay, we got you. This is for you. Now, once again, what's the web address? bit.ly/podcast basics intensive. Boom. You got it, Dr. Michelle, Mogul Beginnings. You got it. What are the 4 Ps? Can everybody say it with me once again? What are the 4 Ps? What's the first one? Somebody typing in the chat. Planning. You're going to plan. You're going to learn how to plan your podcast. And it's not just planning just one, folks. This is where we get tripped up. What does your planning look like? Okay? And when I say planning, it's bigger than just planning. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about fried chicken today. Girl, get somewhere. Let's dig deep. Production. What you going to do? What you going to use? Where are you going to sit when you're recording? Platforms. What you going to do? Who you going to use? Who you going to call? But you love fried chicken though, Leanne, right? Platforms. Where you putting it? Where are you going to put it? And why are you going to put it there? Okay. And lastly, the big dog on campus, promotion. How you going to let people know that, yes, Ghostbusters, Tremaine, right? How you going to let people know that you're there? How you going to promote it? Remember what I just told you. Dr. Clark has an MBA in advertising and marketing, sweetheart. I am not new to this. My whole capstone was how to get people to do what? Market their business. $5 million company. I breathe this stuff. Not only that, but I also breathe communication. I breathe promotion. I breathe engagement. PR is my thing. It's my jam. It's what I do. So you're not just learning from somebody. Oh, well, you ain't got this. I don't have to have that. Somebody was telling me earlier today about, people chase clout. Chase this clout. Seriously. You have to know what you need to know. Stop chasing people that's just got the big stuff and they're only going to charge you. Y'all, mind-blowing, $34K. I'm giving it to you in 4 hours. Now, you can take the 10-week course if you want to. It's in the link too. You can take it if you want. But get in now. Get this. Chase this clout. Hashtag chase this clout. Come on, Leanne. I love it. I love it. Okay. Once again, bit.ly/podcast basics intensive. Now, if you want the 10-week course, it is completely up to you. But let me tell you this. This is only available until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Did you hear what I said? After that, I'm shutting it down. I don't even know if I'm going to do it again. Okay? I need you to get in. I need you to get in now. Each class is only going to have 25 people in it. You want in? You better get in now. Now I sound like my mother. Okay? That's it. I don't have anything else to say. Now, if there are any questions, I am opening up the floor. Can y'all tell I've talked before? Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything else that needs to be covered at this time? Going once, going twice. Again, bit.ly/podcast basics intensive is where you are going to go so you can get those 4 Ps. Okay? Now, I'll be back later on this evening and we're going to dig a little bit deeper because I'm going to give y'all some free stuff tonight. Not a whole lot, but just enough so that you'll understand how important it is for you to get in here and become the podcaster that you said that you were going to do last year, last week, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. You can do this. You can do this. And I'll even throw in something else. How's she go on camera? She's so confident. I had some people in my studio yesterday, literally, her knees were shaking while we were recording. You're going to learn how to calm down in these streets and reach the people that you want to reach. Okay? All right, folks, that's my time. If there's nothing else, since this is the day shift, we're going to leave you with these three words. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life because you only get one you. And since you do, you might as well embrace and enjoy the one that you have. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. Remember this, 1 breath becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes a day, becomes a week, becomes months, becomes years, and equals up to the life that you chose to live. All right, folks, I'll see you next time. And later on this evening, we're going to come back and talk more about those 4 Ps in this podcast intensive. Have a great one.